Hey kids, it's Mr. Kramer again with another art video. Today, we're going to be doing something really special. Last week, we did a really fun drawing of a Japanese koi, and I thought we would stick with the Japanese theme today. And today, we're going to create a Japanese peace crane. That's right, a Japanese peace crane. Now, people often ask me, why do they call these peace cranes? There's actually a really good reason and a great story behind this, and I'd like to share that with you guys right now. So I want you to sit back and relax while I tell you the story about Sadako Sasaki and the peace crane, the paper peace crane. Now, this is a Japanese story that is told, and they actually at the end of the story, they'll talk about a very special place that you can visit that honors Sadako Sasaki. So, here we go. Sadako Sasaki was 2 years old and 2 kilometers away from the atomic bomb when it was dropped on Hiroshima. Most of Sadako's neighbors died, but Sadako wasn't injured at all. At least, not in the way that most people, or that people could see. Up until the time Sadako was in the 7th grade, which was in 1955, she was a normal, happy girl. However, one day during a school race that she helped her team win, she felt extremely tired and dizzy. This got worse and worse until one day Sadako became so dizzy that she fell down and was unable to get up. Her schoolmates informed her teacher, and Sadako's parents took her to the Red Cross hospital to see what was wrong with her. Sadako found out that she had leukemia. At the time, they called leukemia the A-bomb disease. There was a low survival rate for A-bomb disease, and Sadako was very scared. During Sadako's stay in the hospital, her best friend, Chizuku, came to visit her. Chizuku bought some origami folding paper and told Sadako of a legend. She explained that the crane, a sacred bird in Japan, lives for 100 years, and if a sick person folds 1,000 paper cranes, then that person would soon get well. After hearing the legend, Sadako decided to fold 1,000 cranes and pray that she would get well again. Sadako kept folding cranes, even though she was in great pain. Even during these times of great pain, she was known by the hospital staff and other patients as cheerful and helpful, and always asking for scraps of paper or material to continue folding cranes. Although Sadako knew she would not survive, she folded well over 1,000 cranes and continued to be strong for the sake of her family. In October 1955, with her family standing by her bed, she died. Sadako's classmates had lost many of their friends to the A-bomb disease and were saddened by the loss of Sadako. They decided to form a unity club to honor her and stay in touch after they all left school, which grew as students from 3,100 schools and from 9 foreign countries gave money to get a statue built to recognize the many children who lost their lives because of the bomb. On May 5th, 1958, almost 3 years after Sadako had died, enough money was collected to build a monument in her honor. It is now known as the Children's Peace Monument and is located in the center of Hiroshima Peace Park, close to the spot where the atomic bomb was dropped. The act of folding a crane started by Sadako and her classmates turned into a national, then an international children's peace movement Children from all over the world still send folded paper cranes to be placed beneath Sadaku's statue. In so doing, they fulfill the wish of engraved on the base of the statue. This is our cry, this is our prayer, peace in the world. Now, what I really like about this story, and what I really like about the whole story about the paper crane, is that the paper crane peace movement was something that was totally started by kids. You know, these kids decided that they wanted to create a memorial for their friends. And they built this memorial, and the peace crane has come to symbolize that. And I was thinking that it would be really cool if us, as a school of kids, we could come together and we could fold a bunch of paper cranes and maybe display them in honor of peace. You know, maybe we can get 1,000. I don't know. Maybe we can get 100. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a special project where we are going to create some peace cranes, and then I will send out some more information later on how I'm going to collect those, and then we will display them maybe in the lobby or something. So let's get started today. I'm going to show you guys how to create a peace crane out of a regular sheet of paper. It's really easy, and all you're going to need is a regular sheet of paper and a pair of scissors. Now, for your peace crane, for your first peace crane, I recommend doing just a regular piece of copy paper. But as you get skilled in this, you could start using, like, you could start recycling paper. So, like, maybe some old homework assignments that you don't need anymore, you can actually recycle these papers and do that. You know, especially the ones that maybe you didn't do so well on, that you don't want to hang on the fridge. You know, maybe you can use those to make peace cranes. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get a square piece of paper. In Japan, traditional origami, which is the art of paper folding, it usually starts with a square. Now, the easiest way to do this is if I take my paper and I fold it in a diagonal way here. Basically, I'm going to take this edge of this paper and I'm going to line it up on this edge. And I line those edges up very neatly, very carefully. I can then go and crease this like this, and then all I need to do is I just need to cut this little strip off, right? I'll take my scissors. Cut this little strip off. This you can throw in the recycle bin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold this, and you can see that I have a square. Now, I want to have a diagonal line going this way, or a diagonal fold going this way, and a diagonal fold going this way. So, I already folded this way. I'm going to go ahead and fold this way. So, corner to corner, side to side, make sure everything's lined up. Keep these lines, keep your corners and sides as lined up as closely as you can. It's important. Alright, now we're going to unfold this. And then we are going to flip it over like this. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we need to fold our paper in half and then half again. So right now we have an X on our paper. We want to put a plus sign on our paper. So to do that, I'm going to take this, and instead of folding diagonal, I'm going to do like what they call a hot dog fold. Hot dog bun fold. Like this. Fold it over, make sure my corners and sides are lined up, crease it. I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to fold this direction the other way. So when I'm done with that, I should have a bunch of lines on here. I should have a cross and a plus. Okay? Now this next part is a little bit tricky. It's not too bad. I'm going to kind of take my paper. If I take my paper, I'm going to kind of flip it up like this. And then, hold on here. And then what I'm going to do, okay, so hold on here. Let me start over. I'm going to take my paper like this, and then I'm going to tuck my corners in. So you want to kind of see like where this point is. You'll see that your paper, all those folds, is going to kind of help you push this together here, okay? And then you're going to flatten this out. So again, I'm going to open this, kind of push this corner in like this. Then you're going to flatten this out. And then on this side, you're going to push this corner in. You're going to flatten it out. You should get kind of a diamond shape like this. Then I just kind of lay it down. I kind of flatten it all out. All right. Feel free to pause, rewind, and try this step a few times, and then you can press play and continue on. Now, I'm going to move on to the next step. So the next step, very simple. I'm going to take my, you'll notice that there's kind of like two flaps on each side. There's like one here, and then if you look on the other side, there's like two flaps. And the paper is kind of connected in the center here, like at this crease. Okay? So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this edge of the paper and we're going to line it up with this center line here. So I'm going to take my paper like this and fold it right over, just like that. And zoom in a little bit. So all I did is I took this paper, folded it straight over. And I'm going to do the same thing with this other side. Now notice I'm only grabbing one piece at a time. I'm not folding both of these over. I'm just taking that top page. Okay. Now it ends up kind of looking like a kite, I think. See the little kite? And what I like to do is I like to take this top little piece and I like to fold it so the crease is right here at the top. So I'm just going to fold that right over like that. And then I'm going to open this up. I'm going to open this up. All these creases that we just made, we made so we could open this up down here. This is called a petal fold. We're going to open this up and we're going to create a little petal. So let me explain this very carefully here because this is a tricky step. If you look down here at the bottom, you'll notice that there should be one little sheet of paper. I don't want you to grab like all of these. Just grab the very top sheet of paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to just open this up. Okay? We're going to open it up. And as you kind of pull it back, it's going to want to start to fold in on itself. Okay? Don't fight it. Kind of push these creases open. And let this just fold right open on you. The folds are already there. You're basically just reversing the folds that are there. And when you're done, you'll have something that kind of looks like this. And this is what will eventually be your first wing. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the other side. Feel free to pause and rewind if you need to go through the directions again. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to fold this from here. So this edge goes right here to the center, like that. This one right here. Then we're going to fold this top down, open, open, and then we're going to do the petal fold. So we're opening this, and remember, we're basically just reversing all these creases. There's already a crease here. So if you kind of reverse this crease, and And this takes a little bit of time and patience. If this doesn't work for you the first time, that's okay. It didn't work for me the first time. You just have to practice it a little bit. And then I always like to just kind of make sure everything's laying down nice and flat. Now the next step, feel free to pause if you need to catch up. I'm going to move on here. So the next step, you'll notice that there's kind of a top and a bottom to this. Now the bottom has just really like two pieces. If you see that they're separated, the top kind of has like three pieces. There's like, you can see that there's the two wings, and this is like this triangle part. That's going to end up being the back of our piece crane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this same fold that I've been doing throughout the whole project here. I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to fold it to this center edge. And you'll notice that there's two pieces here on this side. I just want to do one at a time. So I'm going to do the first one, fold it over like this. And I want to do the same thing with this one. Like that. I'm going to flip it over. Do the same thing on this side. Like that. And we are getting really close. You can see the wings are really starting to take shape. Here's the back. The only thing we need to do now is we need to take these bottom two pieces. They look kind of like legs, but these are actually, this is the head and the tail. This is the head and the tail. So what you have to do is you actually have to kind of like open it up here, like this, and then take this part and like fold this up. And this, you do basically a reverse fold here. And then you're going to close this up. And then you take the head or tail, whatever, kind of pull it out a little bit, like this. Okay. And then if you want, you can actually kind of push this part down and turn that into your piece crane's head. Like that. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing with the back. I'm going to create my tail. So I'm going to kind of open it up, fold this up, close it, and then here's my tail. I'm going to pull my tail out just a little bit, like that. And there is your piece crane. You can open up the wings. What I like to do is I kind of like to open it up some and then push in on the back. That holds the wings out like this. But then if you try to set it down, you'll see it'll want to fall over. So what I like to do on the bottom here, I like to just kind of fold the little legs. You'll notice there's these little legs. I'm going to fold them out just a little bit. Like that. That's much better. The other thing I do to these is I kind of curve the wings a little bit, and this is real easy to do. You can kind of just take it with your finger, kind of curl it like that, and you can see it gives it a little curl. Or the other thing you can do is you can take a pencil and roll it up like that. There you go. Got yourself a nice little piece crane. Alright guys, have fun with this project. Go ahead and remember that you don't have to use brand new paper for this. You can recycle. You can take yourself some old handouts or things that you're getting ready to toss in the recycling bin. Or maybe you can even grab something out of the recycle bin, and you can start off by creating a square and then following through the directions. Now remember, guys, have fun with this, enjoy it, and remember, art is awesome.